Da, 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 da. Hello there, Gindiana Bones here, as ever, ready and raring to ruminate on the topic of the day. And today we're going to be considering the first of several Tipples videos, that is to say, a tip for the parched archaeologist out in the field who wants nothing more at the end of the day than to quench their hard-earned thirst, having been digging all day long, with a lovely drink. Now, these Tipples videos, it has to be said, are to be taken with a certain cautionary advisory thing. That is to say that some archaeologists, some dig leaders do not appreciate any form of drinking on site, so do take care. And also, of course, please do take these in the spirit that they are intended. They are, of course, naturally some fairly extreme solutions to some fairly extreme problems, as you'll soon see. Now, This first Tipples video takes me back to the days of yore in my youth, when I was digging, oh yes, in Egypt. It had been a fine season, and we were digging at the foot in the area of Abu Simbel, a wonderful site, very famous now, actually for having been moved when there was I believe a change in the water levels was being engineered, so the whole thing had to be moved upwards, as it were. Anyway, I was there digging. And it's been a long, hard day, but a very satisfying day, finding interesting things, making notes, and of course, with my trowel, scraping back at the sand, clearing away detritus from writing, so I might read the hieroglyphs, this kind of thing. Ah, yes, it was a long day, and I was parched. I was desperate for nothing else would satiate my appetite, other than a fine G&T. And of course, as ever, I began the preparation of this G&T. I put in some gin and some tonic into the glass, and also, of course, added some ice. I was actually lucky enough on that dig to have a state-of-the-art ice-making contraption and a team to maintain the contraption. And I was about to do the final step, and that was stir the whole thing together, when unfortunately I realised I'd forgotten my gin stirrer. Shock horror. I could not believe it. I'd gone all the way into the desert and didn't have a gin stirrer with me. What on earth was I to do? Then I rifled through my pack, my things. I desperately tried to find something that might stir the gin and the tonic and the ice into a pleasing combination. See, unlike Mr. Bond, I prefer my gin stirred, as does he indeed in the books. The shaking was just for the films. But I was searching desperately for something to stir the gin. And eventually I came across, of course, my trusty trowel. Now, my trowel had been in use throughout the day. It has to be said, it was it was slightly mucky, but I was a desperate man, so I plunged the trowel into the glass and gave the thing a good old stir. And yes, true enough, a cloud did materialise within the glass, a cloud of sand and grit, and it did leave a shall we say, a piquant aftertaste, a somewhat gritty demeanour, I suppose, in the mouth. But I got my gin. So there you have it, folks, a wonderful last resort solution to getting your gin and tonic in the desert, a trusty trowel. It's also not too bad for cleaning the thing, actually, as long as you dry it fairly quickly afterwards. You don't want it to go rusty, do you? But yes, if you're in a tight spot as I was and you're desperate for a gin, all you need to do is turn to your trusty trowel to do the mixing for you. Yeah. So that was the first of my planned Tipples videos. If you found this useful or helpful, please do share your thoughts and comments below. I would love to hear your last-minute solutions in the field when you're faced with a, shall we say, a dilemma of monstrous proportions. Nonetheless, as always, folks, cheers.